Hey, Patriots Nation! We're back with another exclusive update on everything happening in New England. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button so you never miss any breaking Patriots news. The whispers started moving through the corridors of the league like a low hum that nobody could quite locate, but everyone swore they heard. In this rumor-filled atmosphere, the name of Mike VRABEL began to circulate with a different weight, as if something behind the scenes had shifted and nobody wanted to be the first to say it out loud. The story, as it is being told in hushed tones, revolves around a leaked audio that allegedly captures a moment of raw tension between the Patriots head coach and Drake May. People close to the situation insist this was not a normal sideline disagreement or a heated exchange born from competitive fire. They describe it as a breaking point, a moment when words were said that cannot be taken back, and when trust that had been carefully built suddenly cracked. According to speculation, the audio reveals a coach who felt challenged not just as a strategist, but as a leader, and a quarterback who felt cornered, unheard, and perhaps too confident in his own standing. No one has confirmed the authenticity of this audio, yet the mere idea of its existence has been enough to ignite endless conversations. Fans imagine the tone, the pauses, the sharpness in VRABEL's voice, and the stunned silence that might have followed. In rumor form, it already sounds explosive, painting a picture of a locker room moment that could redefine careers. As the narrative continues to grow, the relationship between VRABEL and May is being reinterpreted through a new lens, one tinted by suspicion and intrigue. Observers are now revisiting past interviews, sideline images, and subtle body language, trying to find clues that this rupture was inevitable. The speculation suggests that VRABEL, known for his firm approach and old-school mentality, may have felt that his authority was being tested. Meanwhile, May is rumored to have pushed back, asserting himself in a way that did not sit well with a coach who values hierarchy and discipline above all else. The leaked audio, if it truly exists, is said to include a phrase that sent chills through those who claim to have heard it, a phrase implying finality, separation, and an emotional line crossed. People close to the Patriots ecosystem say this was not about one play or one decision, but about an accumulation of frustrations that finally spilled over. The rumor paints a scene where voices rise, where the room tightens, and where assistants and players freeze, unsure whether to intervene or disappear. In this telling, the moment becomes symbolic of a deeper philosophical clash, one between control and expression, between tradition and a new generation of leadership. What truly fuels the fire is how quickly this alleged incident has been framed as a turning point rather than an isolated conflict. In speculative circles, there is talk that VRABEL's words in the audio were not merely emotional, but calculated, as if he had already reached an internal conclusion. Some claim he spoke with a calm anger, the kind that signals resolve rather than regret, and that this made the exchange even more unsettling. May, according to the rumor mill, responded with disbelief, perhaps thinking that his role and potential would shield him from such a drastic reaction. This is where the phrase that keeps being repeated in whispers comes into play, a phrase suggesting that May's chapter with the team had effectively ended in that moment. Whether this was said literally or inferred through tone remains unclear, yet the impact is the same in the collective imagination. Fans and analysts alike are now asking whether this confrontation exposed a fracture that had been hidden under public optimism. The audio, real or imagined, has become a symbol of how quickly narratives can change in professional sports, especially when power dynamics are challenged in private and then dragged into the light through rumor. Adding another layer to the speculation is the idea that this conflict was not entirely spontaneous. Some insiders, speaking anonymously in speculative fashion, suggest there have been weeks of subtle tension leading up to this explosion. They mention disagreements over preparation habits, decision-making autonomy, and communication styles. VRABEL is rumored to have felt that May was straying from the structure laid out for him, while May allegedly believed he had earned the right to improvise and speak his mind. The leaked audio is described as the moment when these underlying issues finally collided head-on. Listeners who claim familiarity with the content say it is uncomfortable, not because of shouting, but because of the cold certainty in the coach's voice. This portrayal has led many to wonder if the relationship was ever truly stable or if it was always balancing on a fragile understanding. In this speculative retelling, the Patriots' locker room becomes a stage where loyalty, ego, and ambition clash, leaving everyone else to pick sides or stay silent. The reaction among fans, at least in rumor form, has been deeply divided. Some side with VRABEL, viewing him as a leader who refuses to compromise his standards, even for a highly valued player. Others empathize with May, seeing him as a young quarterback caught in a system that may not fully embrace his personality or vision. The leaked audio rumor has amplified these divisions, turning what was once internal into a public debate fueled by imagination and partial information. Social spaces buzz with reenactments of what might have been said, how it might have sounded, and what expressions might have crossed their faces. This constant speculation has created a parallel reality where the audio is almost more powerful unheard than it would be if released. In this version of events, silence becomes louder than sound, and the absence of confirmation allows every listener to project their own fears and hopes onto the story. The Patriots, as an organization, are now at the center of a narrative they did not officially write, yet cannot escape. By the time this rumor reaches its current intensity, it no longer feels like a simple disagreement story. It feels like a myth in the making, a tale that will be retold and reshaped depending on future developments. The alleged words "he is done here" have taken on a life of their own, even though no one can verify them. They represent the fear that in professional sports, stability is an illusion, and one conversation can change everything. Whether the audio ever surfaces or fades into legend, its impact is already being felt in how people talk about VRABEL's leadership and May's future. This speculative storm reminds everyone that behind the polished press conferences and controlled narratives, there are raw human moments that, once leaked or rumored, can never truly be contained. As the story drifts into its next phase, the speculation deepens, becoming less about the audio itself and more about the consequences that might follow. People who claim insight into VRABEL's mindset suggest that once he reaches a conclusion, he rarely reverses course. This perception adds weight to the rumor, making it feel less like gossip and more like a warning sign. In this imagined scenario, the Patriots organization is quietly assessing options, not because a decision has been made, but because uncertainty has been introduced. The leaked audio is rumored to have exposed not only anger, but disappointment, a sense that expectations were not being met on a fundamental level. For May, the speculation paints a picture of a player blindsided by the intensity of the confrontation, perhaps realizing too late that confidence can be misread as defiance. This layer of the rumor emphasizes emotional fallout, the kind that lingers long after voices calm and doors close. It suggests sleepless nights, difficult conversations, and a growing distance that no public statement can easily bridge. In this speculative environment, every move by the Patriots is now interpreted as a clue. A brief exchange on the sideline, a lack of visible communication, or a shift in tone during media appearances is dissected and linked back to the rumored audio. Fans begin to narrate their own version of events, filling gaps with assumptions that feel logical but remain unproven. The idea that VRABEL might have drawn a line in the sand has become central to these discussions. According to the rumor, the coach's message was not just directed at May, but at the entire locker room, reinforcing a culture where no individual stands above the system. This interpretation casts the confrontation as a deliberate act, a moment of enforcement rather than emotional loss of control. Whether this is accurate or not, it has resonated with those who believe strong leadership requires uncomfortable decisions. At the same time, others argue that such rigidity risks alienating talent, especially in a league driven by adaptability and player empowerment. The speculation also touches on how May is processing the situation internally. In the absence of confirmed details, storytellers imagine a quarterback questioning his future, replaying the conversation in his mind, and wondering if reconciliation is possible. The rumored audio is said to carry a finality that makes this difficult, yet human nature invites hope. Some believe that cooler heads could prevail, that VRABEL's words, while harsh, were meant to shock rather than sever. Others insist the damage is already done, and that trust, once broken in such a dramatic way, rarely returns to its original form. This tension between possible redemption and irreversible fallout keeps the rumor alive. It transforms the story into an emotional drama rather than a simple sports dispute, drawing in even those who usually avoid off-field narratives. As this imagined saga continues, attention turns to the broader implications for the Patriots' identity. The team has long been associated with discipline, structure, and a clear chain of command. The rumored clash between VRABEL and May is seen by some as a test of whether that identity can survive in a changing league. If the coach stands firm, it reinforces tradition. If compromise emerges, it signals evolution. The leaked audio, whether real or not, has forced this philosophical debate into the open. Analysts speculate that front office members are weighing the risks of each path, aware that public perception can influence locker room morale. In this version of events, silence from the organization is interpreted as tension, even if it is merely caution. The absence of denial fuels belief, and belief shapes narrative, creating momentum that is difficult to stop. The rumor has also sparked conversations about generational differences in communication. VRABEL, shaped by an era where confrontation was often blunt and hierarchical, may have believed he was being clear and decisive. May, representing a newer wave, might have expected dialogue and collaboration. The leaked audio is imagined as a collision of these perspectives, captured in a few intense minutes. This framing makes the story relatable beyond the Patriots, turning it into a reflection of broader shifts within professional sports. Fans project their own workplace experiences onto the situation, choosing sides based on personal values rather than facts. In this way, the rumor transcends football, becoming a cultural talking point wrapped in a team jersey. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Your support helps us bring you the latest updates on the New England Patriots. And of course, drop your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from Patriots fans. Toward the end of this speculative arc, the phrase that started it all continues to echo, growing heavier with each retelling. "He is done here" has become less about a single player and more about the fragility of status in elite competition. Even if the audio never surfaces, the idea that such words could have been spoken is enough to alter perception. VRABEL is now seen by some as uncompromising to a fault, by others as refreshingly decisive. May is viewed either as overstepping or as unfairly dismissed. The truth, as always, likely sits somewhere in between, but rumor has little patience for nuance. Until clarity arrives, if it ever does, this story will remain suspended in speculation, fueled by imagination, emotion, and the enduring fascination with what happens when power, pride, and pressure collide behind closed doors. As the rumor mill continues to churn, the entire league watches with bated breath. Every report, every insider comment, and every speculative scenario adds to a story that feels almost cinematic in its scope. Fans, analysts, and players alike are captivated by the sheer audacity of the notion, debating not only the tactical and financial implications, but also the human drama at its heart. Whether or not Dak Prescott ultimately becomes a Patriot, the conversation itself has already reshaped perceptions of both franchises, sparked countless debates, and reaffirmed why the NFL remains one of the most compelling spectacles in professional sports. The narrative combines strategy, psychology, and culture in a way that few other sports stories can, and it continues to unfold with the tension, uncertainty, and anticipation that only rumors of this magnitude can generate. In the end, the mere possibility of this blockbuster acquisition has cemented its place as a defining storyline of the season, capturing imaginations, challenging assumptions, and reminding everyone that in football, the next big twist is always just around the corner. Discussions surrounding this potential trade underscore the broader narrative of transformation within the Patriots organization. Rumors hint that acquiring Patriots II is not merely about a single player, but about redefining the team's identity, approach, and ambitions. Analysts are debating how this move might affect game plans, opponent strategies, and the league's perception of New England's defensive prowess. Fans are caught up in endless speculation about the immediate and long-term impact, imagining highlight plays, strategic surprises, and the psychological advantages of having a lockdown cornerback in the lineup. From media commentary to social chatter, the narrative is dominated by theories about leadership, mentorship, and tactical innovation, with certain positioned as a potential catalyst for excellence. While no official confirmation has been made, the rumor has achieved a life of its own, illustrating the power of high-profile acquisitions to reshape expectations and ignite conversations across the NFL. The unfolding speculation promises to dominate headlines, forums, and debates, leaving fans eagerly anticipating whether the imagined scenarios might become reality in a season that could redefine the Patriots' defensive legacy. That's it for today's update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving fresh, exclusive Patriots news, make sure to subscribe and hit like. We always appreciate hearing your opinions in the comments. See you in the next one, Patriots Nation.